Hey folks, it's Sam, and I'm talking today about Jupiter retrograde in Taurus and what it means for you and all the 12 signs. I'm going to talk about that. Stick around to the end. I'm going to give a brief overview of what it means for each of the 12 ascending signs. Again, it's not going to be incredibly detailed. I am going to be doing a much more detailed version of that, which again, stick around to find out. But Jupiter in Taurus moving retrograde is a huge shift that's going to be happening starting now and into February of 2024. So you want to stick around and check that out on this video. Please like the video. Clicking like helps a lot more than you know. It pushes the video higher in relevant video searches. Also, please leave a nice comment. Comments also help more than you know as it raises the video in searches. Many times with hundreds of likes, there are only a dozen comments and they can be disproportionately negative. So be positive. Let me know if you like this. Even just a few words really help. So subscribe, ring the bell to get notified of upcoming videos. Yeah, please do that. And thanks a lot for people who have been subscribing and sharing the videos. It does really help. So we're going to be talking today about this Jupiter in Taurus, where he's been since April of this year. And he's going to be in Taurus until May of next year, right? And so this is a long-term effect. Jupiter then goes retrograde about 4 months out of the year. Now, you want to also understand that retrograde is an apparent motion. Planets don't actually move backwards. It's an astronomical phenomena which occurs because of the speeds of different planets. So because the Earth is moving faster than Jupiter, you would say, around the sun, then Jupiter appears to be moving backwards when the sun and the Earth appear to be on opposite sides. So if you were to look at this chart, you would imagine that the Earth is in the middle. You see the sun gets at this point, it's about a trine away, and then Jupiter appears to go retrograde because the Earth is in between the sun and Jupiter, or you would say Jupiter is closer to the Earth than it is at any other time. When planets are retrograde, they're closer to the Earth than at any other time. So this is a source of strength, what's called a bala, and it's actually called chestabala in Vedic astrology, which means motional strength, how fast the planet is moving. So when it gets closer to the Earth relative to our life on Earth and the speed of life on Earth, the planet appears to be slowing down. And that apparent motion makes the planet seem to be moving backwards in the sky. But the phenomenon is it's closer to Earth at that time. And so it's also much brighter in the sky. So when planets are really bright in the sky, or when they're retrograde, they get very bright. And that means that there are bright aspects of consciousness as well. And so when Jupiter goes retrograde, it's time to introspect about what inspires us, about our teachings, and in this case, how well we're putting those teachings into practice. How are you putting those teachings into practice in your life? You can see here, and I'm just going to let you know, I will drop the link, but this is part of my rest of the 2024 assessment that I started doing a couple months ago. We're no longer in the Mercury retrograde cycle, but Saturn retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, Mars weak or debilitated into 2025, and the recent solar eclipse in Virgo. These are all big shifts that are the most prominent now and into 2025. And as you can see, one of them is this Jupiter retrograde happening right now. So if you wanted to get insight into that, you can go to this link and you can click 24 special and get a $50 discount. Again, me talking about those cycles and taking you into 2025, talking about this Mars cycle, for example. Mars is going to be going somewhere relative to your chart. Gemini and Cancer fall relative to you in some way. Again, this Jupiter in Taurus is influencing you in a certain way, even this Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. So again, if you're interested in that, let me know. And also this recent eclipse that we just had. But this is to say that all of us are influenced by Jupiter in Taurus now. And again, he's been there since April, May of this year. And it's where Jupiter, the planet of guru, God's grace and teachings, comes into our daily habits, routines, the need to put them into practice, put our teachings and gurus into practice, right? And not just in some abstract way. So Jupiter going retrograde is now going to make that very bright and very prominent in our consciousness and make us reflect on how much and how well we've been doing that. So the retrograde is always, it's a source of strength, like I said, in Indian astrology, because things are also considered to be sources of strength when they are, because they are spiritual strength. And this is really just a difference between the East and West as well, because in the West, retrograde, bad, 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 bad. The retrograde tends to disrupt the outer nature of things, the external quality of something, where it's like, I wanted this to happen, but now it's going retrograde, and that thing is now slowing down or reversing. So externally, you can feel how your relationship with teachings and gurus and what was inspiring you and how much you were putting that into practice in your life is a source now of maybe confusion or moving backwards or uncertainty. Now, again, you could say, well, that's bad. So when's it going to be good again? When's it going to move forward again? When am I going to feel good again? And you'll miss the point, because the point isn't feeling good means I'm growing. Sometimes not feeling good means, okay, what can I learn here? How is, like, for example, if this is like, if you're a, like, for example, if you're a Capricorn person, this is happening in your 5th house, which has to do with like children, creativity, other things like that. And by the way, I'm going to go through each of the 12 signs at the end of this, so stay tuned. But suddenly maybe you'll be having some problems with children, for example. Or let's say you're like an artist or a musician or something like that, and you're having problems, you're not feeling creatively inspired. Okay, well, you could say that's bad, but you can also say, well, why? And what's the difference between when I'm inspired creatively and when I'm not, right? And so we can also take these retrograde moments to learn about ourselves and learn about something, which is really what we should be doing. And by the way, that's also deeply embedded in what this reading is, where I go through and say, you're going to be experiencing interruptions. Like if you're, Scorpio, okay, it's your 7th house. So reflecting on your relationships and how much you're aligned with purpose relative to other people and da, 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 da. So Jupiter's been going through there, giving grace and blessings, but now he's going retrograde. So something's gotten interrupted and blah, 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 or whatever it might be, so that you can learn the lesson and not just be wondering, well, this is a bad thing. When is a good thing going to happen? So this is how astrology helps us in our life to be mature and to grow and to understand ourselves beyond just the external worldly result. So this is why retrograde planets have this good quality in Vedic astrology, because they're more spiritualizing, because they disrupt and interrupt our pleasure cycle, our happiness. Oh, I wanted this. Now I got it. Good. Now I didn't get it. Bad. Many times the thing we, not getting the thing we wanted, or maybe that would come easy, is a wake-up call. And in fact, everything is good. Once you start to really understand yourself beyond just wanting to be happy and beyond good and bad, you see that all of it is good. And again, that's not just a slogan. Even the bad is good, because it's awakening you to something, right? So again, very important. And I also mentioned, and as you can see here, as I have up here, it says samsmembersite.com. This is also below this video. You'll see there's a join button where you can click, and when you join, you actually can become a member. And I'm doing something special. It's like a membership drive, you might say. If you join at the $4.99 level, you just click that button, and this will pop up, and then you can just click join at $4.99. And I'm going to be doing a comprehensive video on Sunday. It'll be live, so you can even show up live. It'll only be for members. It'll be for all members, where I'm going to go in great detail into the 12 signs and what each person can learn based on the 12 signs. Again, I'm going to go over quickly today. I'm going to say, the certain area of life very quickly. But if you want to get much deeper dive into that, just click the join button below this video. And again, what it'll do is it'll take you to this page that'll pop up. And then you can just join at the $4.99 a month level, and you'll be set. And so again, there's a lot of members. I have more than 70 members at all different levels. So again, the reason this is important, and again, it even goes back to these, they're called quick assessments, but they're actually an incredibly deep dive into your chart and how these specific things affect you. So for example, Taurus is going to wind up somewhere for each person, again, which I'm going to go through in a moment. But you might also have planets there. You might have the moon there. You might have Jupiter there. You might have Sun there. You might have several planets in Taurus. Then it's going to be even more impactful. And that's what this assessment is about, right? Because again, even if it's not like if you're a Leo person, this is happening in your 10th house, whether you have planets there or not, right? So again, that's why I put these things together now, and people really like them. They really like getting these. It's quick. It's a half hour of me just breaking down all of these things, and especially this shift into next year, this Mars going back and forth between Cancer and Gemini between now and next June. This is a huge cycle. Anyone who has planets in Gemini and or Cancer, you're going to be toggling back and forth between these two areas of life. For me, it's my first and second house. But again, if you're Pisces, it's your fourth and fifth houses. So again, what does that mean? And again, whether you have planets there or not, that's going to be happening. This eclipse just happened somewhere relative to you. So really think about that. But again, this cycle right now of Jupiter in Taurus, it also lasts into 2025. So I also, in this reading especially, and even now, just say that this retrograde cycle goes until February, early February, but then Jupiter continues and will be in Taurus until May of next year. So again, how is this thing that you're learning right now with this Jupiter retrograde, how does that also take you into next year, right? How is that going to take you into what's happening? Like for me, it's 12th house, but then he goes into my first house. So right now, for me, it's a big 12th house lesson, but he's going to be going into the first house, right? So how do these things lead? So again, understanding the continuum is very important in this flow. But right now, for everyone in general, we can all know that Jupiter in Taurus retrograde now is showing the need to really reflect on how much we're putting into practice those Jupiterian themes of guru and God's grace, guru's grace, what inspires us. And again, how much we're putting those things into practice. Because that's what Taurus is. It's about your daily habits, routines, not just acknowledging these things and saying, oh yeah, I believe this, and then never doing any of the practices, never applying any of these things in your life. Taurus is about applying these things in your life, and that includes even things like with your family and friends and your home and your diet, and bringing those Jupiter areas and that learning in those areas of life as well. So how well are you doing that now? That's what Jupiter in Taurus is, which is a year-long cycle. This retrograde cycle, which is 4 months, about a third of the time Jupiter is retrograde. So about a third of the time we're meant to be reflecting on these things. And then 2/3 of the time we're supposed to be doing them, so to speak. So I'll go through each of the 12 signs here, but as you see, I've been toggling through. Please subscribe, get notified, ring the bell to get notified of upcoming videos. I do these, a couple times a week. And also, again, leave a positive comment. If this is helping you, let me know. I like to see that. And again, click like on the video as well. Liking the video is called social proof. People then, the YouTube algorithms say, oh, this must be good. People are liking it. So if you've been watching this far, please click like if you haven't yet. So For each of the 12 signs, for Aries, this is happening in your second house of values, home, family, diet, possessions, money. For Taurus, this is happening, and again, all the things I just said about the potential for expansion, but then also reflection, etc. For you, Taurus, it's your first house, which is your truthful identity, seeing your true nature beyond just your personality. And again, I'm going to explain these things in great depth on the Sunday live where we can hang out and also chat. But the first house, very much, it's the anchor of our nature. Beyond just our personality and behavior, it's our truthful identity. For Gemini, this is happening in your 12th house, which is that dream space, that in-between life state, that thing that's most confusing, but also where we're challenged to surrender and let go of certain aspects of life. I'm feeling that so much these days. Got to let go of a lot of things, right? Maybe things that I've been hanging on to. Got to let them go. And for Cancer people, 11th house, very much about ambitions and universalizing your ambitions. So it's not just about what you want to accomplish, but how you can be of service rather than competing with others, being of service to a larger cause. So previous competitors become allies. For Leo, this is 10th house, which has to do with your work, your duties, responsibilities, the things you're willing to sacrifice for, to work hard for. That's what it is for you, Leo. Again, I'm going to go into these things in greater detail because, again, each one of the houses is a very deep and nuanced thing, but this still gives you a very good understanding, whether you register or not. For Virgo people, this is the 9th house, which has to do with inspiration, purpose, beliefs. What do you believe? What does your life mean based on those beliefs? What inspires you, right? Again, reflecting on these things, we're all reflecting and seeing how much we're putting them into practice because they're Taurus themes. Libra, this is 8th house, which has to do with transcending, letting go, allowing things to be destroyed that need to be destroyed. Instead of hanging on to things, white knuckle hanging on, letting them go, letting them be destroyed. And it's more destructive. It's not Gemini where we just let go. It's allowing certain things to be destroyed or destroying them yourself. So things can feel destructive, but the rebirth process is there. Scorpio, very simple, 7th house, relationships, others. Again, Jupiter's been going through there, very auspicious for Scorpio and others, but now he's going to go retrograde. So maybe you had some others come into your life or whatever, and you felt the grace, but now it goes backwards and you're like, there's some lessons that I need to learn. Maybe some changes have occurred. Sagittarius, Jupiter's your ruling planet, 6th house of hard work, difficulty, unpleasantness, being willing to do those things and be like a parent who's willing to be of service to the child and change the diapers and do all that hard work. But again, this is a very deep house. I'm going to explain it in great detail on Sunday in much greater depth because it's also about how we become enemies and turn everyone into enemies when we don't understand our deeper nature and we don't understand what it is to be devoted and to give. Capricorn, like I said earlier, it's about creativity. That could be children, that could be things you want to create, things you write, things that inspire and motivate you, including your spiritual understanding. Again, Jupiter going through your 5th is bringing a lot of blessings, but now it's bringing some back and forth disruptions to make you really contemplate and ponder more. Aquarius, 4th house stuff has to do with the heart, the home, literally where you live, your emotional anchoring, your emotional core. Again, blessing with Jupiter going through there, but now it's going to be retrograde and reflecting. Are you really connected to the heart or just emotional? That kind of thing. And Pisces, it's 3rd house, reflections, which have to do with using your individual intelligence and skill and intellect to figure things out for yourself, right? But again, it can also be a lot of desires and things like that. The 3rd house is literally the house of ego, positive or negative. And again, I'm going to explain those things in great detail when you click on the video below. When you click on the join button and you come here, again, you can just register at that basic level, at the $4.99 level. and you'll be able to get that. Now, again, there are other levels as well. Most people are actually at the Oracle 5D Avatar level, which actually gives you all of these videos here with the election videos. I also did a whole bunch of educational videos for a long time that have to do with Rahu Ketu, the nakshatras, all that kind of stuff. So all those things are there. But again, this video was mostly about the Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, and it's about you're looking at the screen sorry about that cycle that we have. And again, also, if you did want to have me look at the 2024, the rest of this year and into next year, you can go to the link there and just put 24 special in the box to get a $50 discount. So either way, I hope you're doing well with this Jupiter in Taurus. Now that he's retrograde, it's a time to reflect, not panic and say, oh, it's bad. When's it going to get good? And if you want a more deep dive into how it affects your sign, then just go and register at the $4.99 level and join us on Sunday, October, whatever that is, 12th, 13th, whatever it is. And we'll have a live hangout, and you'll also have the recording. So you take care. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.